Hey Chelsea fans, welcome to yet another video right here. My name is Desire Derek Ford Mugumisa, and today we discuss why every team needs Chelsea's Moises Caicedo. Chelsea simply because they can't have him, we have him, and it's for a long-term contract, and hopefully we keep him for such a long while. In this video, we're going to be discussing some of the pointers, especially from his big season last season at Brighton and Hove Albion, that make it inevitable that he will succeed with us at Chelsea Football Club, that will justify why we paid the money we did and why we had to, among so many other things. So do stay with me as we go through this video. First off, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel. I would love for you to like this video. I would love for you to spread it as far as possible. And very importantly, I would love for you to ring the notification bell such that you don't miss out on our next videos and all of that. Also, so follow me on social media, will you? Will you? I'm sure you can. Let's do that, yeah? Now let's get to move on to this man that is Moises Caicedo. Please note, there are a couple of times where I feel like I'm calling him N'Golo Kante or everything, but is there any difference between N'Golo Kante and Moises Caicedo other than the edge? I'm kidding. I know he's still lots of potential. N'Golo Kante was the finished article and he did it at the highest level. But I believe, just like N'Golo Kante had some solid seasons, especially that one where Leicester won the title before we signed him, this is exactly what we get ourselves in Moises Caicedo. So let's get into this particular one. When we signed Moises Caicedo, our core sporting directors, that is Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, they came out with a quote. At the time, we were all excited about a new signing and all of that, so we didn't exactly pay attention to it. But they stated Moises possesses a rare midfield skill set and is a player we've been targeting for some time. We believe he will make a significant impact at Stamford Bridge this season and in the years to come. Now, we shall remember the drama that ensued as we tried to sign Moises Caicedo, but we still came in and we did not stop. Of course, Moises Caicedo came through and stated to Liverpool that yes, you've bid 111 million pounds, Chelsea had done 100, you have won that and all of that, but I do not want to come to you. I want to go to Chelsea. This sounds like a song, but yes, it was because of Moises Caicedo that we stayed in the race and we finally won him. What a guy, what a player. And of course, you want to remember that we lost N'Golo Kante at the beginning of the summer when he decided to go to Saudi Arabia. And Caicedo seemed to be the guy that we set our sights on to come in and replace him at the club. Now, you want to note that when Brighton, of course, were first approached for Moises Caicedo, they had stated in January that he would be worth 80 million pounds before they stated somewhere in the region of 100 million pounds in the summer. In January, it was Arsenal that seemed to be close to getting him. They didn't get him after bidding, I think, 10 million pounds, less than the 80 million. And then Chelsea, of course, struggled all through the summer before they got him. But you want to note that 3 seasons before they were throwing around those figures, Brighton had acquired this guy from Independiente del Valle in Ecuador, where he was just a Chelsea fan playing for them for just 4.5 million pounds, if I remember that just right. So what did this guy do so well between signing for Brighton and becoming the 115 million pound player that Chelsea have signed? Please note that 3 years ago or so, he was in Ecuador playing football. Today, he is the most expensive transfer in the English Premier League. If that is not amazing, then I'll never know what is. But let's quickly look at some of the statistics that make him the star boy that every single club needs. Step aside, Saka. This is the real star boy, man. This is the real guy. Of course, Moises Caicedo. But quite a number of facts in here. And of course, this is an Opta article, so there's a lot of statistics. I would love for you to have a read of this article. Again, this link is going to be placed in the description below. And as you get to find that, please note that it was an article written close to a month before Chelsea finally made a breakthrough in signing Moises Caicedo to Chelsea. But here are some of these big stats from the 2022-2023 season with Brighton. Pascal Gross and Lewis Dunk, those are the only 2 players that played more minutes for Brighton than Caicedo. Now, we've suffered injuries. Matter of fact, even right now, our season is struggling because Nkunku is out, Chukwuemeka is out. just about anyone gets injured. There's a guy who was about to make his debut. He got injured again, Lavia, and it just cannot stop. That he can it with Chelsea. So this is a guy that played that many minutes, and only Pascal Gross and Lewis Dunk played more minutes than him. Matter of fact, the Ecuadorian featured in all matches but just one. How about that? So an ever-present, that is something that Chelsea definitely needs, and any club would definitely need. Another key factor in us paying the money that we paid for Caicedo is how magnificent he is in covering ground right there, and that is both offensively and defensively. He's a guy that when the Brighton, lines were broken, or the press was broken, he was the guy that was running back and breaking down play. Matter of fact, in that article, like you read it, these pictures here, these 4 pictures, one after the other, apparently, according to that article, Moises Caicedo, regardless of where he is in that moment, he made it to the ball before any other player. Even when it looked in many cases that either the player was on the ball or the player was closer to the ball than Moises Caicedo, he covered ground so well that he managed to be the first player on that particular ball. Caicedo has also made a name being a great team player and strategy executor as far as tactics are concerned when the managers get to deploy them. Many a time he was seen getting to drop from midfield all the way to the left to cover for Ecuadorian right there. Now, of course, that will be Chilwell for us, Colwell maybe, Madsen if we choose to play him there, whoever it will be. But you know that Moises Caicedo is much more than the defensive midfielder that is breaking up play, that is covering ground for everyone. He's also coming through and covering players who've been beaten or maybe had bombed forward to make an attack. Caicedo's defensive numbers are also outstanding, by the way. It's not just the attacking ones and all of that. Only Fulham's João Palhinha made more tackles than him in the league last season. That is 144 versus Caicedo's 100. And only Declan Rice made more interceptions, 63, than Caicedo, who had 56. So you can see that, yeah, it's elite class of midfielders that this guy gets covered at, yet he does quite more than some of the people he is being mentioned to do. Off the ball, the Ecuadorian led all Brighton players in basically every defensive category on a per 90 basis. So if it is tackles, leader, whatever it is as far as it is defensive, per 90, he was the best as far as, of course, all Brighton players were concerned. But his game, of course, was not just about the destruction and the disruption. One of Caicedo's key strengths, apparently, is his ability to regularly regain possession for Brighton before quickly launching an attack. And there were a number of goals we considered in pre-season that you felt we needed someone to do just this. We've lost the ball in midfield. Why are we being dribbled through at will and having shots go at our goal? Why isn't someone breaking down that play and turning that attack for the opposition into our own attack? Moises Caicedo is exactly important for that. And in the Premier League last season, Caicedo won the ball back for his side and instigated an attack that ended not just what I was asking for from our Chelsea midfielders in pre-season, but he went ahead, won the ball back, instigated an attack that ended in a shot on goal on 18 separate occasions. Only Rodri from Manchester City had more, and that was 19. Caicedo, 18. There are a couple of statistics as far as defensive midfield that, Caicedo was actually toe-to-toe with Rodri, which is a good thing because Rodri is playing at Manchester City, Champions League goal, Champions League final winning goal, and all of that, but pretty much playing consistently at a top club. He's being compared to a guy that finished in the European places and all of that, but at a Brighton side that you cannot compare to Manchester City currently. He now plays at Chelsea. That team gels, that team settles, and yes, we have a gem on our hands. Like I say, the article, the link to the article is in the description below. Go ahead and read it, and please, let's go to the comment section and share what our opinions are on this guy and how excited you are for him to finally settle in and put in the shape that many of us expect of him. That was this particular video. Thank you so much for joining me on this one. Please subscribe to the channel. Please turn on the notification bell and please follow me on social media so we can continue having these conversations far and wide beyond this. There are quite a number of videos on this particular section of the channel. Please go ahead and watch them in the playlist that is titled The Chelsea Pulse. Everything Chelsea Football Club happens right here. My name is Desire Derek Ford Mogomisa, and until the next video, let's keep that blue flag flying high.